Welcome to episode 3 of the Ready for More podcast. Think about what terminology you're using to define yourself, and think about, are you playing small? Welcome to the Ready for More podcast, where we share success strategies and stories for women business owners, entrepreneurs who are ready for more for yourself and for your business. I'm your host, Heather Cameron, and I'm here to help you to discover your unique path to profitability and success so you can achieve your more on your own terms. Are you ready for more? You can find today's show notes and links at www.igniteyourmarket.com/readyformore. So today I want to talk about what titles we give ourselves as women who have chosen to be in business by themselves or to run a business for themselves. And I'm struggling with the words here at the beginning, and that's really the premise of this particular podcast episode. Is I've been fascinated as I've moved towards wanting to podcast, as I've created and focused a lot on my own marketing, on the terminology that we choose as women to define ourselves as people who have stepped out on our own to create an income, to share our wisdom, our products, our services, our passions. What I've noticed is women struggle with what to call themselves. So the question is, do you call yourself a woman entrepreneur? Do you call yourself a woman business owner? Do you call yourself someone who is self-employed? Do you call yourself someone who works from home? Do you use the word consultant? Now, it's a whole different set of words that we are using to define the same thing. And I'm fascinated. I've posed this question in a number of forums. I've gotten a number of different answers. And what I've discovered is many, many women aren't comfortable using the word entrepreneur. They're not comfortable with that. They have a predetermined meaning to that word of being something more than what they feel they are. And what I want to pose to you is it doesn't really matter what we call ourselves. But it does matter if we think we are smaller than we are. You know, if you are out on your own, if you're running your own business, then that is something to celebrate and not to choose small words to define ourselves. I work from home. Well, you could be employed and work from home. It's not the same thing. You're not taking the same initiative and the same risk and the same, focus and power that comes from choosing to do something on your own. I'm self-employed. I use that a lot, and that is true. I have chosen to be self-employed. I don't work for someone else, and that's appropriate in some terminologies. So I use self-employed. I even notice that I go from self-employed to entrepreneur to being a women business owner. So what I want to think about here is really for you is think about what terminology you're using to define yourself, and think about, are you playing small? Are you thinking small, even in that very basic way if you define what you do for a living? And if you are, is that holding you back? Is that holding you back from being bigger and brighter and really stepping into that wanting more? This podcast is called Ready for More. And if the very basic definition of what you call yourself, of how you define yourself as someone who stepped out to work on your own, for yourself, as an entrepreneur, as a woman business owner, if the words you're using to define yourself make you play small, then I want to challenge you to think about how you describe yourself, to think about those words, to think about what it means to step into the fact that, yes, if you go and look in a dictionary, the definition of an entrepreneur is someone who's going out and working on a business on their own and not working for someone else. So by definition, you're an entrepreneur. And I want you to think about, what does that mean when you step into those words? How does that make you feel? What is that giving you? I want women to step up to the greatness that we have to offer in this world as people who have fantastic skills, experiences, passions, products, services to put out to the world, to step up and step into that. I want you to be ready for more. And I want you to be ready for more at the very basic definition of who you are. And that is, you are an entrepreneur. You are a women business owner. You are someone who is self-employed. You are all of those things. And it's important to not think small. And that's what I wish for all of you, is to not think small so that you are ready for more, and that your basic definition of what you are from a business perspective and a career perspective is not a limiting belief. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Ready for More podcast. You can find today's show notes and links at www.igniteyourmarket.com/readyformore. My name is Heather Cameron. I'm your podcast host. And when I'm not hosting this podcast, I'm busy working with entrepreneurial women like you who are ready for more in their business and are looking to get focused on their own unique path to success. You can find more about myself and my programs at www.igniteyourmarket.com. If you like what you heard, feel free to rate, review, and share with your friends. And don't miss an episode by subscribing. Until next time, remember, now is the best time to focus on your more and be inspired by your own unique gifts.